Cozy cafe in the center of Mykolaiv. Now there is a full hall of visitors, aromatic coffee and delicious food, as it was before the full-scale war. But in the early days of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, things looked very different. Since February 25th, cafe has been working as a volunteer kitchen. Ukrainian military and territorial defense warriors were fed there.
We cooked up to 2,000 servings of food a day, and the military themselves took it away and delivered it to checkpoints. Cooked hot food, hot drinks, coffee. Our entire main business is a coffee house and coffee roasting. From the end of February to the beginning of April, we spent, distributed to military units, prepared about 2.5 tons of coffee beans. All our business went away in those first days, so that our defenders would be well fed, cheerful and confident that they would always be supported by the city.
The owner of the cafe says that some of the staff left and some serve in the armed forces of Ukraine. Marat himself urged his employees not to risk their lives and evacuate from the city. In May, the facility reopened to visitors. At the same time, volunteer activity flowed into a public organization, Peaceful Sky of Mykolaiv. Volunteers began to collect money for food. They also received it from charitable foundations to distribute to those in need. First of all, pensioners, people with limited mobility and people with disabilities.
There were moments when elderly people came. It was a feat. And when they saw a package that weighs 15 kilos, they gave it back with tears because they could not deliver it. We recorded them and delivered separately.
In addition to Mykolaiv, volunteers are now helping residents of frontline villages and liberated Kherson. They bring food, drinking water, medicines and hygiene products, as well as help with the evacuation of people with limited mobility. To raise funds for this, the Coffee for the Defender project was announced. 100% of the profit goes to the purchase of humanitarian kits.
Since people do not always want to donate just like that to unknown people, we offered such a promotion that it will not be just a donation. For money he gets coffee and he has a choice to take this coffee for himself, or we can give the coffee to warriors of the armed forces of Ukraine. This may be in Mykolaiv and in the Donetsk region.
The kitchen of the cafe also continues to work for the volunteer front. Hot lunches are delivered daily to medical workers of the Mykolaiv hospital.
There are many good people now. You know, the war showed the true face of some people. Who is good, who is bad. At 5 o'clock in the morning we arrive and right up to the evening. And what to do? We have to work. This is our job. Some people say doctors don't care. No, it doesn't matter. They care about every person as much as they care about themselves. We take first the cardboard. We insert the wicks here as we go.
Natalia is the director of a branch of an energy company. All her free time she works to help the front make strange candles.
We worked, did it in the evening. If necessary, they arrived in the evening and poured, or they poured it on the weekend. Yes, it takes time and energy. Therefore, the hands are constantly beaten or cut.
Such candles help the military to warm up in the trenches, heat, water and food and dry clothes. With the onset of cold weather, the demand for it has increased significantly.
This jar burns for 3 hours. I don't know how many millimeters are here, to be honest, I can't say. It is not big. It is a little more than from cat food and burns for 3 hours for sure. We set it on fire. This one burns about 4 or 5 hours, maybe longer.
There are certain details in production. To prevent the candle from smoking, the wax is melted together with paraffin. The smoke from it is invisible in the field. Another plus is that it burns much longer.
These vapors, of course, are not very healthy. Therefore, most of the people who know recommended doing it outdoors. People directly put teapots, make fires. Everyone does it on the street. It's better not to do in the apartments.
These candles warm the soldiers not only on the southern front, but also in Donbass. Natalia collects requests through social networks and volunteers who go to the front line, transfers through them or sent by mail.
How many ordered? So much we will do. Who asked? Need 100? Will be 100. Need 200? Will be 200. Sometimes 50, as work allows.
Natalia makes 300 candles a week. Many people are involved in the production. Beekeepers help with wax. Local residents help with banks. Cardboard is given free of charge by stores and delivery services.
The boxes are at the Nova Posta office. I asked someone there, not damaged, because these honeycombs must be whole, so that wax with paraffin can penetrate there, which give good result of burning and long, which is the main thing. I buy paraffin either with my own money, and my friends and colleagues help me a lot with money for paraffin, because it's not cheap.
The Zaliza company helps keep civilians warm. Before the full-scale war, metal structures and furniture were made here. Since August, they began to produce potbelly stoves.
I am a member of the Ukrainian business community. There we met the head of the Lviv Charitable Foundation. He has now received a great sponsor who is rooting for our Ukraine, for our civilians. This is a Canadian who came to Ukraine to help our people, in particular the Mykolaiv region. He is funding this project.
The Owen model was developed according to the American prototype. The first 6 were made according to the sketches of the Canadian. Myko 2022 has no analogues in Ukraine, lightweight, mobile and with great heat dissipation.
One bookmark is enough for 2 hours. It hits an area of approximately 30 meters. Its weight up to 17 kilos. It's light. Folding legs and folding chimney. No need to mount these meter pipes. It once decomposed into 1 meter pipe, telescopic. This is a very convenient and comfortable item. Traction adjustment, more or less.
Such furnaces are installed free of charge to residents of the affected villages of the Mykolaiv region, where after Russian shelling there is no gas and heating. The war radically changed the lives of all Ukrainians, but all the trials united people even more in the fight against the Russian invaders. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Daria Otovchenko, UATV News.